everybody. It's the SOBs who love SOV. Right now, it's just myself and Slade. We will be talking about the 1984 classic Black Devil Doll from Hell, but we're really excited, really excited that we have one of the stars. There he is. Hi, Black Devil Doll. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Oh, great. It's good to have you on the show.
Shut
You,
up, bitch.
Okay, obviously it's Maddie Deering. But Maddie Deering has this epic fucking mask. That was our attempt at comedy there, kids. I did actually reach out to Chester, who is the person
Really?
who directed this, Chester Turner.
Yes.
I don't know if he's going to get back to me or not. You all will know because if he does, then we'll have something probably at the beginning of this. I was like, hey, like I was trying to name drop because I saw he communicates with like Tim. And I'm like, hey, like I'm a friend of Tim Ritter's. Like, and then I like deleted that and I'm like, no, don't name drop. But we shall see. So this is an amazing movie. I chose this one this month. We weren't here last month because of illness and holidays and all the other bullshit that goes along with the ends of the year. So we're here now. Did everybody have a good Christmas, New Year, snow?
Yeah. Well, when I wasn't shooting out both ends from being sick, yeah.
Thanks for that.
Nice visual.
It's,
I don't
yeah,
hate that.
oh, it's
I
natural. I
appreciate
mean,
it.
everybody
It
poops.
is. Everybody poops and vomits at the same time sometime in their lives. If you don't,
That's
you haven't lived.
I have not
or
lived.
or drank enough.
That too. What about you, Maddie? What'd you do? Or did you have any fun? Anything good?
Yeah, I mean, my family came up for Christmas and New Year's. I worked all day, so and New Year's Day. Got some pizza
Yeah.
New Year's Day after work and watched New Year's Evil
There you go.
on
Yeah,
it.
that was kind of like this is where I am in my life is the same thing. Like I don't care about New Year's Eve. I haven't cared about New Year's Eve
No,
forever.
I haven't cared for a few years. I used
Yeah.
to, but probably at least 4 years.
I
But
was actually I was actually kind of pissed because I had like been getting somewhere with something I was doing at work, and I was like, I don't want to be off work because
yeah,
I'm so
uh,
old.
well, work for my work, holidays just make work harder. So
Right.
I'd rather just. And if I'm looking forward to holiday, I'm like, well, I want to treat myself to something, whether be pizza or movie, special
That's right.
movie, whatever. But they
New
still
Year's
gotta get
Evil, that's a good one. I don't think I watched anything for New Year's. I usually watch Terror Train
Terror
because
Train's a good.
oh my God,
Most
because
Animals another good.
when I was little, like at that point in time, I didn't see Terror Train, but I had a huge crush on David Copperfield. So when I watch that, I'm always just like, oh, I was like
Well,
5 or something, and I had a huge crush on the dude. What about you,
I don't watch
Slade?
any. I don't watch anything for New Year's, but I do have four movies that I take and watch for Christmas, and that is Emma Daughter's Jug Band Christmas, which I've been watching since I was a child. Garfield Christmas,
oh hell
which
yeah!
as it's so good. It's
That
like
back catcher Garfield
yeah,
gives Otis is
and
or Otis.
Grandma.
Sorry.
And Grandma's just so good in it. I did alienate a few friends by showing them Treevenge, which is my third pick.
Oh man,
How do
yeah.
you
I
Oh,
forgot
alienate?
to watch that this
every
year.
everybody's on board until the baby. So,
Okay.
but it's amazing. And my fourth one is a new one that I've taken and added here recently. It's from a anthology film from the 80s that just is stuck on VHS called Tales from the Third Dimension.
Yeah.
And there's the first two shorts are just blah, it's whatever. Third one is Christmas themed, and it's called Visions of Sugar Plums. If anybody wants to take and watch that on YouTube, it's up there. It is absolutely batshit crazy and couldn't be made today, I don't think, because of some of the proximity of squibs to
It couldn't be made with the
adolescence.
same regulated. Yeah.
Oh, just give it a watch.
Couldn't be made in our country. Let's put it that way.
That's true. They could take and make it overseas, or
Oh, for sure.
but it is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it. It is absolutely crazy, and I added it last year after I watched it for the first time. But no New Year's. I'm just nothing like that. I have watched
Yeah.
a lot of good trash though, and a lot
All
of
right.
wonderful shot on video films, and are rewatching this one.
Yes. Yes. So nice segue. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to talk about, like, let's talk about the movie a little bit, but I'm going to ask you guys, like, you guys are going to kick me off the show. Like, I'm going to ask you kind of a philosophical question. Okay, so if you don't know, and I don't know why you'd be listening to us talk about this movie if you haven't seen this movie, but this is The Fabulous SOV from 1984. And it is about a lady who is very devout in her faith. We're like, it gets pounded into your head very quickly or very
That's not the
long
only thing that gets
time.
pounded.
That's right, bitch. But she's very devout, and she ends up at a thrift store, and she is drawn to this doll that gets this huge tale of that I couldn't hear. By the way, I was watching this today at work, and I didn't have my headphones, and the guy next was in the office next to me, so I had it like really low, and like, of course, there's no closed captioning, and like I'm trying to listen to that part where the lady at the store is telling her the story, but like that grenade flash sound that they've got going, it's like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, even
Yeah.
if you have your volume up all the way, you can't fucking understand what she's
No,
saying.
you
'Cause there's
can't.
that high pitched sound. I want to like.
It is ear splitting.
Yes, the only way you know is like the flashback at the end. Is the only way you have a
Exactly.
clue what she's saying. But she picks up this doll that she's drawn to, and she's told that at least I think at that point in time, she is told that the doll always comes back to the store. I know that. And I do think she also told her that it would grant your heart's true wish, like your heartfelt wish. Like that's what the doll does. And so on my way home, I'm like, you know what? 100%. I would have picked up that doll because I rescue crappy, weird dolls like this, Suzette. So I totally would have grabbed that doll. And if they told me that she would have granted me a wish or anything, like I would have been like, oh, Suzette. Yeah, because I love Suzette. So, and I love dolls and I treat them nicely. So I was like, okay, so if I knew this doll was going to do that, it's not like monkey paw. So it's not like she wishes for something. It's what's truly in your heart. And I'm like, okay, so the doll comes in and he's got kind of limited powers, right? Like, so I'm sure he's like, there are a lot of things that your heart wants, like I want world peace, but I mean, sure, he walks in and he's like, okay, well, bitch wants world peace. I can't do that. But you know what? She wants to get laid. I can do that. And I'm like, what would he find in me that was like attainable? Because we don't know. I think the last time I watched it, I think I always assumed it was all he did was fuck the people. But I mean, if it's your heart's true wish, then like this time I'm watching it and thinking, oh no, it was because she really wanted to get laid and she was really repressed, like, so if he walked into my house, what would he grant for me? And I'm like, huh. So I came up with mine. I'm going to ask you guys what yours is. But I'm like, I think my like thing, like my heart of hearts, like the thing that I don't have that I wish I had was I just wish my debt was all gone. Like I think everything in my life would just change dramatically. And I don't have a lot of debt. Like I'm not like drowning in debt. I'm like a lot of other Americans where I make good money, but like so much of it has to go to my student loans that I graduated from 30 years ago, or like, windows that I had to put on a credit card because I couldn't afford to fix my house 5 years ago, And so I think mine would be like my debt cleared. Now I think he would probably do something to fuck it up because I think that's the other half of it. I think he gives you what you want, but is it really what you want? I don't know what would fuck it up for me. But Maddie, what would your wish be? Your heart
It'd be
wish.
I don't know. I just want to be able to make art that's gonna make people happy and stuff. So you'd probably turn it into me making a porno or something, or
Yeah,
oh. No, but like
but that would be okay too.
it would be. But that's really all I want to do. Like, in general, like I don't like working my, 2 jobs and whatever. And I just want to create stuff that can connect with other people or make them happy, whether that be,
And
movies.
that be like what you can do, like not having to do 20 other jobs to try to make ends meet.
So I can concentrate on one. That's definitely one of mine at least. So he would definitely turn that into something, I suppose.
Now Slade, yours has got to be good because you had a lot of time.
No.
Technically, I had the whole drive home. Like I was thinking about this the whole drive.
I know you didn't like give us a heads up here.
Dropping these big questions. No, mine's mine. I know mine right off the a place in solitude that with that I can be self-sufficient with, like a little area out in the woods with a huge garden and animals and stuff like that. And I'm not a prepper by any means, but I really enjoy solitude a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
so like
right
slightly
now,
off the grid kind of.
Yeah, just only just enough, like 5-10 minutes out of town, still got the convenience, but enough to where I can just kind of breathe. Because anybody who's met me or watched this podcast has probably come along the lines of saying that I'm a bit of a nervous person. So yeah, it's something that I desperately want to take and have. And because I've always lived in areas with being surrounded by people, and just kind of want to be able to just like go have a naked stroll outside in the middle of the night if I
so
want.
Now,
not worry about getting arrested.
Well, the naked stroll is probably where the puppet would interfere. Yeah. Poison ivy on the wing or something, at least. But no, our guy is a little bit meaner than that, or just mean-spirited. But is he? I don't know. Like that was another thing I thought about. Oh my God, I can't believe I watched this movie. And I was working.
I love that you watched. You were working. That's just all.
I know. And during the sex scenes, I'm like, I had to turn it down. I'm like, oh my God, whatever. Yeah. Oh no, just research. Okay.
Like you can't fucking replace me. Shut up. Leave me alone.
I can watch this movie and work. That's the thing. Okay. I can run this network and I can watch this puppet fuck this lady. And by the way, like that, okay, so I picked this movie. I've only seen it like once before. I don't think I knew it existed until Analog Nightmares, the book we talk about all the time, came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck yeah, I gotta watch this. Because just, the synopsis itself is, I love puppet sex. Like Team America, Let My Puppets Come. I think like sex with puppets is like, so they sold me on sex with puppets. But now, like, I'm like, this is a whole like moral story of like, be careful what you wish for, and like, without being like in your face. And I'm like, so now I'm left a little bewildered that I thought about this movie so much, to be honest.
Way deeper.
So when I picked it, it was really just, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that, like, lady getting banged by this puppet or whatever. But then there ends up being so much else. And actually the puppet banging is very minimal, as much to her chagrin, right?
I don't know. The 90-minute cut that's a long one.
Well, yeah, but I mean the frequency.
Yeah,
she needs it more.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting thought. Is like where you were talking about Heart's Desire. Does she want to be shit talked? Like, does she want to have just like, hey, bitch.
And that's it too. Like, okay, that's kind of what I was getting at. is he kind of an evil doll who gets you what you want, but you got to deal with some consequences? Or is that really what she wanted? She wanted to be tied up, called a bitch, humiliated, blah, blah, blah. Is he just a neutral freaking doll or a neutral wish granter who happened to run into somebody who's pretty fucked up? And I mean, come on, she's super repressed. All she thinks about is sex, but like in the opposite way, like people who are trying to like push down, like thinking about like, oh well, God doesn't blah blah blah. All you want to do is fornicate, and her house. Oh my God. Like all the shit that's on the walls and everywhere else, the Bibles in every corner of the freaking house, like
That Pink
maybe
Bunny gets to see some shit during throughout the film. This little symbol Pink Bunny is
Oh, I know, the little Energizer Bunny guy with the whistle, like, sorry. I do like that.
just
Bit.
cause it zooms in on that.
Oh, that poor
It had
little
me
bunny.
cracking up.
Yeah. So this movie okay, so the doll itself, they did I read a little bit. I haven't like listened to commentary or anything. But they did get it from like a thrift store, and they did up the cornrows in an homage to Rick James. Which was another thing that like I think I read that before I watched it the first time, and that was like the other thing that sold me on it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, because I mean, obviously it is just a ventriloquist dummy,
Yeah.
But yeah, they managed to make it look pretty cool with the cornrows, and then let me make you look real.
With those corn rolls.
Oh my God. That's great though. All right. So I totally missed this too, that the card after the 3 minutes of opening credits, which I also read was the production company trying to pad the time. That's why they're so slow. But it says at the end, or says at the end of them, like, shit happens, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully you don't have to go through the same thing Miss Helen Black went through.
Yes.
No, Helen Black.
Devastating.
Helen Back. Oh.
Oh, well, I didn't catch that either.
I didn't either. Yeah, Helen Black. I was like, because I wrote it down and I was like, oh, all right. That's pretty clever.
That is. Wow. My mind's kind of.
Could be totally coincidental, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think.
Speaking about the credits, though, the music, albeit a bit abrasive with the synth work and the Casio loops, it is really super fun. Like I love the soundtrack.
I like the music a lot.
Yeah,
Other than
with the exception of the grenade thing. Yeah. I thought there was something wrong with it too at first, because I was like, what? Trying to listen to this bitch.
I first saw this movie. I bought like a bootleg or something from someone before Massacre Video, anyone put it out. And I definitely remember it being rough to watch. And I thought something was wrong with the DVD they gave me. But
yeah.
Then I got the Massacre Video DVD. I was like, oh, that's just how it is. That's fine.
Yeah. And like what I watched, I don't know where mine would have come from. It's from a podcasting Plex. And so it probably would have come from whatever release came out. But yeah, I noticed a couple times too that like the video got all shaky and weird. Like they just like, yeah. But I was like, oh, I don't know if they like have ever restored it or anything, but
I think they just remastered it from whatever tape.
Right.
The best one that's still around.
Right.
It's
shining a turd. I mean, you can't really do a whole lot with VHS tape.
It's got that like very buzzed, like fried feeling to it that like the bloody video horror that made me puke on my Aunt Gertrude like has, because there are no surviving good copies of that. They're all incredibly difficult to watch.
Yeah. Now it's all about preservation.
Yeah.
So I did take notes this time, so we can go chronological if you want. Because I did actually put it down. So first she goes in, she's at church. I mean, they're really just the first third of this movie is just really trying to tell you This chick she's a Christian. Okay. She's a good Christian, a good
She would never
lady.
fuck a puppet ever.
She went well, and she tells the puppet, ain't nobody seeing me naked, or you're the only eyes that are seeing me naked till I get married or whatever. I mean, like, she's so fixated on this idea. But then but she comes back, by the way, and like as she's walking, like that was a really nice neighborhood and stuff that they had. Exterior, it was kind of different because usually when you watch these SOVs, it's like
Oh yeah.
it's like the crappiest little neighborhoods, but it was actually pretty nice. But I was just love looking at the cars because it was like the cars of 1984. I was having a little reminiscent moment there because again,
Yeah.
And
I'm
we just
old.
Mama, you want a
Hey,
TV, Mama?
mama.
I got something for
Oh,
you, Mama. Oh, you want this fur coat, Mama? Come on, Mama.
I got a boombox. It's got a cassette and 8-track. You ever seen that? The same thing. Yeah. So yeah, then we
Oh
get
my
the
goodness.
car, right? We get the sales guy who he's got what, like a TV.
Yeah.
He had
And
one of those
coats.
little TVs too. Like the little ones that you like portable, that were like this, and like the screen was like this and then had a little like a
Yeah, yeah.
radio or something. I was like, oh man, I always wanted one of
I
those. Oh, you bitch. I wanted one. But yeah, this guy is just selling random shit out of his car. And she's very tolerant for a very long time. But
know. Oh,
yeah, which is surprising, um but yeah, like just stealing is bad, blah blah blah. Everything's bad. She's got to be a delight to hang out with. She doesn't want anybody to do anything. But that is so fucking great. So yeah, when she gets home, that's when she's like talking to her friend on the phone, who's like, all you want to do is fornicate with a man. And that scene kills me. I love it because you only see her like twice, I think, and it's her back, and it's like shot like this. I mean, it looks like it was totally like candid camera, but everything else is just panning through to like the Jesus, the Bible over here, the Bible over there. Like it's the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, can we get away from this footage? Just go back to her. But that again, charm. This is the charm of it. But
definitely.
but like it looked like probably what Slade's neighbor's house looks like.
Yeah, my grandma's house. Oh my
Full
God.
full of Jesus. Oh my
All
God.
over.
Oh my God. But this is when she gets to the curio shop. She's a thrifter. Again, she's kind of I wrote she's a woman after my own heart, goes for weirdest, creepiest dolls. Yeah, and then I have woman explains while grenade flash plays. But so okay, explain to me this. So she gets this doll. I have obviously I got a few dolls here. And I always take my doll home and I always give them a nice bath. Like I was rescuing them. Like I give them a nice bath, and do their hair up, put a nice outfit, wash their clothes, da da da. Never have I once just sat my doll on the toilet and let it watch me shower.
I was gonna mention that because even later she's like, "Where are you at, Dawn?" She's like, puts it back in the bathroom or make
Yeah,
sure it's still like. Why are you keeping your doll in the bathroom? Again,
bathroom. Right, like
like
there's right, like
that's
she
so
she thinks he has
odd.
to take a shit or something. Yeah, because she puts him on the toilet even. It's not even like she's just trying to store him somewhere.
Very
Mm-hmm.
strange.
That whole shower scene in general was absolutely amazing. Like
Mm-hmm.
the doll using its magical powers to take and slowly pull away the curtain, and she
Mm-hmm.
would not open her fucking eyes during the entire time. She was just taking her, just rubbing herself, getting hot. And I
Yeah.
and I'm just so desensitized. I'm like, bitch, like open your eyes. Your floor is getting fucking soaked. It's
Oh my god.
it's like 4 minutes of just oh, oh. But
Oh,
yeah,
oh, a similar off-topic story. So I told you guys that we went to this sex club for it. Yes, okay, everybody. We went last weekend. One of our friends was doing a burlesque show at a sex club. So we went, but it was like it wasn't operating as a sex club when we were there. I mean, it was when we left. But it's like a bondage club. It was like it had a bunch of, crosses and things hanging from the ceiling, that you could hook up to and that kind of stuff. So, right, this is the environment I'm in, right? And it's walks of all life, people with their shit hanging out, like just a little bit of everything. And then this guy who was like, oh my God, he was like 6 foot something. And he was like super lanky. He comes on stage to do his thing, and he's got like one of those hoops. He's doing the Cirque du Soleil shit. And he's wearing like these 10-inch platform heels. And like, dude, like, I mean, everybody else is just, doing like if you've ever been to a burlesque show, everybody hoots and hollers. Like every time they do something that you like, you're supposed to like, be loud. That's just like there's a lot of audience participation. So everybody else is like, woo, woo. And like he just kept doing this thing where he was just dropped to his knees on this wood stage. And about the third time he did it, I looked at Rob. I'm like, I'm about ready to throw $1 to this guy so he can put that towards his knee surgery because he's going to regret this when he's 40. Like of all of my takeaways on that whole thing, I was worried about that dude's knees.
Oh my God.
Being old is fun sometimes, though. I really am getting to the I don't give a shit stage of that, so I'll let you know how that is. Anyway, so anyway, yeah, she showers, fantasizes about him, and that tongue.
Oh
Your mask doesn't have a mouth hole, does it?
no.
Oh,
Oh.
man, missed opportunity. I read it was a coat hanger in latex. So, oh my God.
And Cool Whip, evidently, like, it's like,
And,
oh,
and that, so what's the smoke that comes from his mouth? Is that him like, is that like a hypnotizing thing?
That's what I was gonna say. I thought it was kind of like a spell or something, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or like a drug kind of thing or whatever.
Wish, or whatever, or deepest desire is like
Mm.
eternal desire.
Blah, blah, blah. And again, though, I like that that's, oh, sorry, I cut you off.
Just said I always thought that's what the smoke.
Yeah, and it's cool. Again, it's subtle as opposed to being right in your face, being like, So
he just
yeah,
likes to vape.
maybe. But you know what? He shouldn't. That's not good. Jesus does not want you to do that.
No,
She
no,
probably
body's a
that would have been
temple.
that actually would have been funny if he would have like lit a cigarette and she's like, "Oh, you can't do that though."
That would have been fun. We were making a parody.
Yeah, a parody of a horror comedy puppet sex movie. Yeah.
Never mind.
If he grants your wish, Maddie, we're making that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
But her reaction when the doll appears in the room and just the whole, I mean, just this whole, oh my God, just this whole thing. I'm just leaving it to you guys now. How do you like that, bitch? I can't do an impression apparently.
Well, when
Sounded
he when he jumps out of the closet, like the child that they hang on her back that takes and like incapacitates her, and then they go into like the stills with the shrieking music.
I like that.
I did too.
I like it.
Mhm.
It was a nice stylistic choice there, and then he just pops up and says, "Hey, bitch!" After he goes to the kitchen and looks through the drawers for about 2 or 3 minutes looking for rope.
And it's like just
They can tie her up.
right, just so you could see they actually did have a human for that part, which I read was
God,
his
it's
nephew.
so funny.
It's
Dude,
so
it's
funny.
like a
The switching
6-year-old or
between.
something.
It's gotta be, which is hilarious.
I could just imagine that pitch to their parents. It's like, I need your kid for a horror movie. We're making a movie here. This is what's the movie about? Well, it's about a puppet.
I read it as
Think
his
of that.
nephew, though, so at least he was related. And
He must be surprised.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
Slightly better.
Slightly better.
Yeah, as long as that kid got therapy if he needed it later on in life, it's all okay. Not really. I mean, like it's 19. Okay. I mean, the kid I said 6, but I don't know.
I mean,
Probably
he might
older
have not
than
even
that.
movie till he was a teenager.
Yeah, like I
Well, you
mean,
know, if
he
you
would
look at the drawers,
right. Like they don't have to tell him what it's for.
no.
You're just gonna look through here and look for a rope. Okay, good. Go
It's-
home, get some ice cream. All right. Now we got other things to do.
exactly.
She gets done rotten by this pup.
I know.
She's like, he's like getting ready to go in the sheets. I'm sorry, I'm like gonna start laughing hysterically. When he starts like going under the sheet, she's like, "What do you do? What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm in between your legs."
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting between my legs.
Oh no. Oh no. What are you gonna
But
do
then,
there?
but once she gives in, man, she is all. So I kind of actually maybe think she liked to be shit talked. Maybe she liked to be treated mean.
I think you're right about that, which I didn't really think about it, but I think
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, that makes sense.
That
Especially
tongue was
with
gnarly. Ugh, it was like, I don't know what they put on it. It looked like
now.
oh, it looked like Cool Whip and caulk.
Oh.
It was like it's like yeah.
Oh
But
my
good
God.
Lord, good Lord, when he started going to town, like
Mhm.
she was all begged for it. I want you to beg, bitch.
This is why I love doing podcasts because before this, I probably would have said Team America World Police was my favorite puppet sex
I
scene.
have
This
this
would have
on
been
my
number
notes.
2, but I think this might be 1 because of the dialogue.
I
I
have this on
Yeah.
mean,
my notes that
I read.
asking if this was your favorite puppet.
Yep.
Technically, I guess it's Marionette, but I mean,
I mean, a
whatever.
ventriloquist.
Yes.
I mean, the Team America, they're marionettes. This guy's a
So
ventriloquist.
this beat Team America for you.
At least this time, and now that we're talking about it, like the dialogue now, I'm like, that might beat out that song. All I ask is that you're a woman. Like that whole song
Yeah,
playing in
yeah.
the background.
Now that you've smelt the foulness of my breath, you can taste the. Oh God, what is the freaking line? It's
Oh,
so good. The sweetness of my tongue.
Like that. That's what
oh
I
yeah.
Oh,
was.
Oh yes. And whenever she asks what he's doing, he says, "Getting ready to bust your cherry, baby."
Yeah.
And he does, because then later she's just like, "There's blood. It wasn't a dream." And how many showers did she take in this movie, by the way? I think I counted 3. There might have been
I
even
was gonna
4.
say I thought it was 3 or 4. I thought it was 3.
You got to be clean for Jesus, apparently.
Well,
And
especially after he popped her cherry.
you got to wonder, like, what's he packing? He's got to be a grower, not a shower, right? Because, like, I mean, he's just this tiny little doll. I mean, he's
yeah, consider
tall, but
how obsessed she is with him. Like all the like spoiler, she gets laid a couple more times during that film, and they can't
No,
satisfy her. So
no one can
like he must
satisfy.
be he must be like either packing her or he's got the nice curved something.
it's
I
just
don't
the
know.
size of it and how you use it, right?
Right. Well, I think it's the tongue, really. I mean,
I mean, yeah, you
yeah,
hit the nail on.
yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much like that's the pinnacle of the movie. Obviously, the greatest part of, well, definitely maybe 1984 cinema right there. Um, but yeah, like so she wakes up the next day, she can't find the damn doll. And she's and the way that they play it out, I love it. She's like vacuuming and kind of looking around, just
and
like going about her day, but
and that sad music that's playing in the background is just amazing.
Careful.
yeah, it's like
Like,
she just
oh,
got dumped at the altar or something.
oh, so sad. Where's my puppet?
Well,
Where'd he go?
I was a little confused at that point, like why she was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go." Well, the sales guy was out there, but like, why didn't she just go back to the store? Why did
Yeah,
it
that
take
was
her
my thought
doing
too.
two other guys before she remembered that he always made it back to the store?
She obviously wasn't listening.
Well, she couldn't be because somebody had like thrown a flash grenade.
Flashbang. It's just like I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. I'll take the doll.
Maybe that's it. No, because she
That's
remembers later
yeah.
that we're maybe thinking a little too much in this. But yeah, so she decides, well, fuck it. There's my thief, say a car salesman guy outside trying to sell me a fur. Why don't I just take him back and bang him? And like she is having none of it. I mean, she is so unimpressed.
She's just basically laying there with the look on her face is just, oh God. If I was the guy, I would just be like, Jesus, all right, I'm gonna leave. I
Yeah.
just
No, no, he probably tried to sell her that boom box again on the way out. I mean, I don't
Obvious.
I don't think he was like, yeah, taking social cues very well.
No.
uh yeah, but what does she say to him? Oh wait, yeah, oh she tells him the whole story and I put on here she trauma dumps to him. Maybe just fuck him without the story. But he ain't got what the doll has. He just ain't got it.
he's not a tripod.
But she's okay, but she gets knocked down, she gets up again just like Chumbawamba. I'm so old. And that's gonna that might be like the log line of this, like SOB, you can love SOB. Rebecca's so old. But she's like,
I
so
am
she just
too.
says fuck it, puts her coat on, and she just goes to the bar to fucking pick somebody up. I'm like, damn, she went from 0 to 60 like that, people.
She forgot about Jesus, so hey.
I, that's right. Well, at one point in time, she's even like trying to take, I don't know if she's throwing it away or just like trying to like hide all of her Jesus stuff, but she's got a new god,
Exactly.
and his name is Rick James. I love that. I was just like, because I mean, you just look at him and the way he talks, and you just start
Oh,
thinking, I'm a super freak, super freak.
too bad they couldn't use that song in the movie.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but wow. Um, okay, this is one part of the movie where I'm like, okay, surely to God this was supposed to be edited, but they left it in because they needed more runtime. But the dancing, like watching everybody dance, I felt like I was
Oh yeah,
watching
it
like a
takes
mute.
forever.
Yeah, I thought I was like
Yeah.
watching like one of those like freaking beach movies from the 60s where it's like all of a sudden you're just watching people dance for like 10 minutes and you're like, you don't even
Okay, I'm
like
gonna go get a snack. Pee.
yeah, pretty
Dinner.
much like a drive-in movie where they know the teenagers are just making out, so they just like
Yeah. Who
not
cares?
that any teenagers were making out to this movie. If you were a teenager and you made out to this movie, you might need some help.
Gotta say, you never know.
Hey, I don't know. I rented some funky shit. Oh, that was another thing too. I was gonna ask Slade because Slade and I, of course, grew up in the Bible Belt. So
Yeah.
um this was I didn't ever know this existed, and I don't know if it's because it wasn't one of the ones that was around, like that was in heavy rotation, or if it was because I just live in a really, really like racist white town. And I don't think even like the cool guy that owned my video store, I don't think he would have even had the balls to put that cover on the shelf. Especially the back of the VHS is the doll is like a drawing kind of thing, but it's the doll dragging the woman. So I'm not
I
thinking that would have flown in my little town like in any way, shape, or form.
I was lucky enough to live in an area. We had to take and drive about 30 minutes to take and get to the spot where I usually rented my films. But there were two stores. One was like that. because the owner was a Christian, and she kind of curated a lot of the stuff. There were horror films, but they were all like the major titles for the most part. Then we had the other one in town that had the larger, like he did it, the owner didn't care. He wanted money. He wanted your money, and he didn't care what he had on the shelves. Like he had, and I loved it because it was a release for me because take and go, and I rented Vampire Hunter D, Ghost in the Shell, Perfect Blue. They had
Now, see,
he didn't
mine
care,
wouldn't
so
even have had that. Like any
all
like
the
that stuff was like,
all the cool anime.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean the horror would be the only thing that I have. But I know you say like titles of things you've seen when you were younger that are things that I was not aware of, and I'm they must have been way more eclectic.
Oh, it was great. And the reason I say that like he didn't care completely, they actually had a lot of complaints from some of the churches in town because they even carried the like no, they carried like the Traces of Death and like
Ooh.
all those films. And I was just like, damn, like at a later date taking and seeing how much flack they got, I was like, they just didn't care. And I'm so happy that they didn't because I got to
Right.
watch so many great horror films because of that. Their horror section was about 4 or 5 shelves. Why they had the like the wood panel. You
Hmm.
can smell
Oh,
it. You can
yes.
probably still
The
remember that
popcorn, the
smell.
cigarette smoke, the dirty
Yes,
carpet.
all that. The
Love that smell.
CRT at the front with the like DOS arc database management on it. It was great. However, um, they only had a few shot on video films, and
Okay.
a lot of the more obscure stuff I found out about later
Okay.
when I rediscovered my passion for shot on video. I was just like, I went after it. I actually met Justin from Massacre at a horror hound once, and bought 555 off of him. And of course, at the time they hadn't. I don't think they'd released Black Devil doll, but he told me about a lot of really good films to take and check out. So, and I think Tony worked on the DVD for this. So shout out to Tony. Love
Tony,
you,
we miss
Tony
you. We love
Masiello.
you.
We miss you. I think this is
I'm
one of his favorite shot on video films too. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, whenever I was Facebook stalking Chester, yeah, I saw that Tony did he used to do that SOV and beers thing like a
yeah.
long time ago. He did
oh
this one
yeah,
like 5 or 6 years ago. He showed up on his feed. We
yeah.
love you, Tony.
Love you,
Love you.
Tony. Totally
I
check
was
on sovhorror.com.
like,
All right, so she gets the other dude again, just not having any of it.
This
And this
guy
is
tried really hard. This That's what's sad about this one. They had the whole
legitimately hard.
yeah,
he did.
and
But oh,
he's like, "I'm sorry, baby, you didn't enjoy it." And she's like, "It's all right. Not your fault. It's not your fault. You can't fuck as good as a puppet."
yeah, no, yeah, like again, she so yeah, like well, maybe that's why she didn't go back to get the puppet, because maybe she thought, I don't need the puppet. I've already busted my cherry. Now I can move up to human men when she found out that it was actually a step down.
Nothing
Yeah,
as good as the puppet.
no.
No. There are a lot of dudes in Korea like married to their sex dolls and shit who would probably agree. Except for this one talks back.
I
Yeah,
guess
I
you
don't think
save
he does
out.
dishes either, by the way.
I guess you
I don't
save
think
money on going out to eat.
Yeah. Woo! Okay, so shit hits the fan. This is when the Energizer Bunny really gets his time in this spotlight.
the
Uh,
best.
oh my God. But yeah, like so finally she goes back to the store. But then I know I'm kind of foggy. Why did he give a reason why he wouldn't fuck her again?
I don't think
I
so.
think no, I don't think so. I think he just during they do like kind of a soft transition of while he's just banging her, just making initially, and I guess it lasts for hours and hours and hours until she finally passes out. But then he's just gone.
Yeah.
So
So I think he granted her heart's wish and he won't do it again. And he's like, well,
yeah,
you're under.
exactly.
It's gotta be a one and done. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I gave you what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you gotta do with it what you
Go
want. But
south.
if I can't have you, no one else will. And man, oh man.
The most ridiculous shit.
I wonder how they did that shot. Like, did they put just did they do like After Effects with it, or if they actually put like headless like
It
bright lights in the puppet's head?
I don't know because I mean he was a ventriloquist puppet you could easily put lights in there. I don't remember
Yeah,
them turning on.
probably did. They shot it on video and like everything's minimal. I don't think they would have done any type of After Effects. It
Yeah.
looks like it was edited on tape. I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is pretty cool though.
It's awesome.
But he's just like, well, fuck you, bitch. Man, he goes to town. I love it.
And melts her brain, and she starts
Yeah,
spinning.
I put eyes light up, Energizer Bunny goes crazy, clocks turn back,
So
which
great.
gives you like that a kind of further sense of like there's something very supernatural going on here, obviously, but like yeah, the clocks are turning back, she's spinning and bleeding and having a convulsion. It's wonderful, and the Energizer Bunny the whole time.
Let's see, poor bunny, seen
Aw.
some shit.
All right, so then we have the end, which is kind of like this is because I watched it right before I left, and so I think that's why I was kind of thinking of it. But it was the thing that I was like, it hit me that the other lady who buys it, like, we don't know what her thing is. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
wait, maybe doesn't want to get banged. Maybe she wants something better. So it's almost like set up for a sequel that we never got. Was there supposed to be another one?
I don't think
Not that I
so.
love, but I don't know.
I mean, it was the 80s. Like, I mean, everybody made their shit open ended, just in that slight case,
That's just how you
that
do it. Even if you don't plan to make a sequel, I always make my shit open.
yeah, like, well, and it has been very subtle the whole time, as I said before, so that would make sense for it to not have like actual closure. And
I
obviously
want
he's
to
done
say
this before, but like, I mean, this could be like a whole series because he's done it before. So we could go back and see all the things that he did to those other people.
I'm trying to
Because
remember if this was before Claudette Zone or after. I think it was
Thought
before,
it was
right?
before, but I'm
Yeah,
not a
that's it.
I'm trying to think the same thing.
which
Yeah.
I have
Is it
never seen that, and I need to see it.
what?
I know.
I do
What?
Zone over,
Shaming me.
but I love them both. Quad Zone
Yeah,
stand.
it's
That theme song
Claudette.
in Quad Zone.
Yes.
Okay, I
It's
can't even get it because I'm trying to like look it up for your thing, and it's just like Tales from the Crypt in every freaking episode.
I
We'll
think
have to.
Massacre has done a re-release of them on DVD.
I
Uh,
have a box set, or if you want to call it a box set, but it's a double feature, like two DVDs of Black Devil from Hell and Quad Stone,
Mm. That's
which
definitely
is
yeah.
good
That's a
times.
purchase I'd probably I'm not
It's
gonna
highly
it's
recommended.
not it's not quite as good as Black Devil Doll, but it's very very different. Especially the clown one. It's,
Yeah, the
it's
clown
like
one. We'll review it sometime and not give too much
yes,
away now.
there.
But highly
good
recommend
times.
it
We will.
watching. And I wish Chester made more movies because I really
Yeah,
enjoyed.
and
Oh
I saw
yeah,
I saw
yep.
that there's a documentary. I think it's only like the making of Quad Dead Zone. I don't think it has anything to do with the Devil Doll stuff. But those were like the only things to his credits, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
looking him up recently when we were, going to review this. Yeah, yeah,
Kind of surprised with like as much resurgence as we've seen
yeah.
from classic SOV creators. Maybe, just maybe we can convince him to come out of retirement. They
I think there
cast
are a lot of
Maddie as the new Black Devil doll.
Yes.
yes.
And
I'm ready to go.
we'll have a prequel series. We'll get it on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, forget the Hulu thing.
Tubi, maybe not Hulu, but definitely.
Maybe YouTube.
We'll shoot for Tubi.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a proof of concept, Maddie, and
Yes.
talk him
Let's
into
make
it.
that happen.
I'm sure it'd be magnificent. All right, you guys got anything else about this movie?
I want to ask if you guys saw it came out in what early 2010s Black Devil Doll, the one Sean Lewis made.
Yeah.
No, is
Was
it
Yeah.
like
a
is
sequel
it
or
a
reboot or
remake?
anything? Definitely inspired by this.
Yeah.
Somewhat inspired, but like
Oh,
it's
just Black Devil Doll, right?
yeah, it's mainly just it doesn't have the same kind of charm, in my
No,
opinion.
but I used to
Yeah.
love it when I was a teenager. I haven't seen it for years. I mean, I'm sure I'd still enjoy it, but I was just curious because they were supposed to do like a sequel to it that was like a sitcom type 6-part series that never
That
got finished.
They stole
one of
my
them did.
idea. Well, or I stole their idea retrospectively without knowing it.
It
The
doesn't
pilot
matter
got,
anymore.
Yeah.
the pilot got made. It's 20
Yeah, the
minutes.
pilot got made, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Um,
No, nothing else after that. The
Oh,
pilot's
no,
pretty
no.
funny. I did find the pilot pretty funny.
I mean, I love that movie. It's been a while since I've seen it. I don't know if it would still hold up, but I was just curious because I used to be a huge fan. I saw it in a theater.
I have.
In like upstate New York. I drug my best friend there, and her mom was super like Christian and stuff. She had to like lie about her going because she didn't. My friend didn't care, but her mom would have. But we saw that, and it was like that, and then Deep Red played. It was like a 35mm print or whatever film print. And I think City of the Living Dead. It was a really cool film festival.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yeah, I didn't have anything nearly that cool when I was a teenager.
I had a video we don't have anything.
Like maybe early 20s. Either way,
yeah.
It was fucking, yeah.
After talking to Bruce and stuff, I want to move to Pennsylvania, like just for the cool shit up there, as far as
cool shit. Come on.
theaters and everything.
Well,
and Gross Fest.
Because that's
and Gross Fest.
That's where like at least like my corner of the world's indie film like takes place. Like Maddie and Steve Rudzinski and Brad Twigg and like that kind of area, and it's like it's all the cool kids are there, and I'm just like, I want to be one of the cool kids there.
You are a cool kid, Rebecca.
I am a cool kid. Hey, Slade says I'm a cool kid, Rob.
Oh,
I am.
We're the coolest kids, and we're going to make an SOV anthology one day, and it's going to be amazing.
I think we should. Yeah. So I've got this recorder. I need to get with somebody. I don't know. It's this. I've got an ancient camera. Slade, I don't know if you've seen it. Did I send it to you? I got it at this estate sale. And it's a camera, but it's the old school ones where you had to wear the pack with the recorder on your hip.
Oh.
But like it kind of like there's proof of life in it, but like I can't get like the tape to rewind, which is it's kind of like any old VCR, whatever.
Well, you just need a rewinder. I have one of those.
Well, I can't tell if it's really it says it's recording. I don't know if it is or not. The viewfinder is literally that big. And it has the solution for it's black and white, by the way. The camera shoots in color, but the finder is black and white.
That's like the cameras we use for Spirit Animal and Bathtub Shark Attack.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Did it have so it's got this little like magnifying glass that you can flip into the viewfinder so you can see it a little bit better? Yeah.
My cinematographer hated me for making him shoot on that, but I love the way it looks.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, not that I've shot on it because I can't even get it to work yet, but like it's actually way more comfortable than you would think.
Oh yeah.
Like it's way more ergonomically, I don't know, designed or whatever. Because I was like, God, how would people do that? And like I wore it around like one day just being stupid. I'm like, this isn't bad at all. Like
no, not at all. And like the you heard the obviously volume, or dialogue in my movies, like those all onboard sound except for a couple sounds. It picks up really good sound, unlike
Really? Wow. I didn't realize. I figured you'd probably use something extra like an
Well,
add-on mic for that. That's
not at all
awesome.
surprising. So anyway, I highly recommend shooting on one of those if you want to do video because I think they're wonderful cameras.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
I know I was gonna say I know some people who like to tinker with shit.
Yeah.
So maybe I could find somebody. And I like to tinker with shit, but like I have to tinker with shit all day at work. So like
How's that hairband working, by the way? How's the
there.
hairband work in the VCD?
Oh no, I've replaced it a few times. Yes. So yeah, I collect CDs and CD players. I now know where I can buy them, but we have a guy who actually does 3D printing for a lot of parts. Like
Oh,
the
that's
little
awesome.
yeah, like the just the mechanical parts and stuff like the
Oh
cogs and
wow,
stuff.
that's
I want one so bad just for that.
cdmagic.com if you are into CDs. There are some people out there, and if you're listening to this, you might be. Yeah, so CD Magic, we're on Facebook, and there's also a website. It's a very small but dedicated crowd. All right, guys, are we done talking about dead formats? Okay, we'll be back.
No, I've been trapped in the snow. I need
Uh,
socialists.
no, you can't leave me.
Please talk to me.
Oh, yeah, you got Taryn. Which I thought he was going to make another appearance.
No, no,
Well,
so did I.
maybe next time if we watch a more age appropriate movie.
maybe.
He makes an appearance.
Yeah, Brutus does. All right, guys. I guess we'll see you next time around.
Right?
Bye.
Bye.